What's up, everybody? My name is Blaze, and welcome to what I like to call Off Topic Thursday. Today, we're talking about a topic that I don't normally talk about on my channel. Usually, my channel is reserved for things like Nintendo, Pokemon, Smash Brothers, basically Nintendo stuff. But today, I want to talk about something that just off topic from my normal discussions, and something that has been near and dear to my heart for a long, long time. And all building up to one event coming up on Friday the 26th. And that, of course, is the Avengers Endgame movie. Every movie that's come out up until this point is basically leading up to Endgame. And Endgame will signify the end of what the Marvel Cinematic Universe is calling the Infinity Saga. So today I want to take some time and make some predictions. I have not seen the movie. I don't know anyone who's seen the movie. And I'm just going to basically make predictions on who I think will make it out of Endgame alive. There's a lot of speculation about who might live, who might die. If you know the answer, please do not spoil anything in the comments. If you would like to talk about spoilers, I will be doing a spoiler video on Sunday. I'll be doing a live stream on Sunday after I see the movie. Sunday about 1 o'clock Eastern. So if you really want to talk spoilers and talk about the movie, come check out my Twitch channel live on on Sunday afternoon at about 1 o'clock Eastern. So today I want to speculate. So if you've not seen the movie, this is the video for you. If you're afraid that maybe something I say might be true and you think that maybe I'll say it and you won't be surprised anymore, then maybe this video is not for you. But if you want to speculate and just kind of think about some stuff with me, then great. Let's do that, because there's some cool things that I think may or may not happen during or towards the end of Endgame. So, but let's start with some of the easier stuff to get those out of the way. I will some of this is going to be based on whether or not the characters are going to be in a movie coming up soon. So, for example, the Guardians of the Galaxy have Volume 3 coming out. James Gunn is back in the director's seat, and I'm super excited about that because the Guardians series is my favorite series ever. And the first one was amazing, and the second one was just as good. The third one, I'm guessing, will be just as good, if not better, and I really can't wait to see it. But it is safe to say that the Guardians of the Galaxy, I'm gonna guess all of them are going to make it out of Endgame. I don't think there'll be a single casualty from the Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, during their actual movie, that's a different story. I'm not going to make predictions about that right now, but it is possible that someone may or may not make it out of their movie alive. I will say that Gamora is the most likely candidate to at least not have been found during Endgame. So I think that it's safe to say that at some point, everyone who was turned to dust will eventually make it back in some way, shape, or form, whether they reverse snap everybody back into existence, or they go back in time, or something happens. I think everyone who vanished during Thanos' snap and turned to dust will be reverted back to being alive. And I think that's kind of true for Gamora as well. So it's, it'll probably likely be like a time travel kind of a thing. I don't know how it's going to go. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But I think that Gamora is probably going to be brought back to life in some way, shape, or form, though I don't think that anyone's going to know where she is after Endgame is over. So, just because I think that the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 movie could be spent trying to find her. Although that may or may not be something that comes to fruition. Just an idea. But I do think that everybody who vanished during the snap will come back. So I'm going to go down this list that I have here of characters, and I may leave somebody out. I might forget somebody, and that's okay. You can post in the comments if I did miss anybody. Let me know if I did miss somebody, and I'll let you know whether or not I think they make it out. So we're going to start with the easy ones: Captain America and Iron Man. Two of the first Marvel superheroes that were out on the big screen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I gotta say, these are the two most likely candidates for me to say that they probably will not make it out of Endgame. I don't know. I'm not going to think about like anything that has been tweeted by these actors, and I don't want to read too much into to the tweets that we know have been made, but I know Chris Evans has not said that it's his final run, but he's not said that either. So there was a tweet that he put out a little while ago that was alluding to the fact that he wrapped up Captain America, and that the underlying message was he wrapped up the character Captain America, and not just this movie. But I don't think that that's worth looking into right now. I think that maybe it's possible, but aside from that, I think in the comic books, Captain America died. I mean, he took a pretty big hit and he was gone. So he did come back eventually, and someone else took up the reins of Captain America for a while, and that's a very likely scenario that someone else can take up the reins of Captain America, whether it's Falcon or even, gosh, I guess War Machine or someone else could be Captain America, and that would be fine. And I don't think there's any problem with that at all. I think that if Captain America was gone, it's not going to be a situation where I don't think he'll ever come back. But I think that if anyone was to be a casualty of Endgame, Captain America seems like the most likely candidate. And he's strong, but he's also willing to sacrifice himself to save the entirety of humanity. So or the entirety of living species across the galaxy. I think that is a noble sacrifice that he, of all people, would be willing to make. Tony Stark has shown some character, some what's the word? He's shown some strength in that regard as well. That he would also be willing to sacrifice his life for the greater good. So I don't think that's out of the question either. Those two actors have been running those characters for a long time now, and it wouldn't surprise me if they just wanted to kind of take a break or maybe back out. But storyline wise, I think it'd be cool for Iron Man to kind of not be around for the birth of his child, should that happen. And I think that his child could kind of grow up and become this character that is much like Iron Man, but also, a kid. So, I think looking at Iron Man and Captain America, those two I'm going to put in the deceased on the deceased side of Endgame casualties. So, looking at the other characters, Hulk's been around for a while too. Technically, the Hulk goes back to the Edward Norton days. He was probably the first Marvel movie. They don't really comment about it or talk about it very much, but I think as far as Hulk goes, I don't think he's going to be a casualty at all. I think he's going to redeem himself. He's going to be someone who comes back and either stops Thanos himself, gets his revenge fight and beats Thanos in a one-on-one match, or they become more like Professor Hulk or something like that. I think that's what's more likely to happen. But I think that there's definitely some drama that Bruce Banner and Hulk need to meditate and figure out together before they can move on. So I don't think that Hulk is going to go anywhere. We know that Spider-Man has a new movie coming up soon. I think the movie takes place after Endgame, so it's pretty safe to say that Spider-Man is safe for now. I don't see him being a casualty to Endgame because he's fairly new to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I don't think that he's going to lose this fight. So Spider-Man survives, Hulk survives, Captain America I think is gone, Iron Man I think is gone. Black Widow, I'm going to say that Black Widow is gone. I'm going to say that she probably doesn't survive. Hawkeye, it's almost fitting that he is also gone. I know that Black Widow has her own movie coming out, but I think that's going to be a prequel to Black Widow being in the Avengers, or a prequel to Iron Man 2. I think it's going to be about her maybe developing her skills, her specific skills, and learning how to utilize them, or saving the world or something like that. I don't think it's going to be a today kind of thing, kind of like Captain Marvel, how it went back to before the Avengers and everything. So I think that's going to happen with Black Widow. So I'm going to say she's out. Doctor Strange, I think, is going to survive. Fairly new to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I think he's got another movie planned. But aside from that, I think he's a really cool character, and they really haven't even scratched the surface of exploring this character yet. So I think it's very important that Doctor Strange stick around. Captain Marvel, I think there's a sequel to that coming out. I think I heard like a rumor or rumblings of that. She's gonna stay for sure. Brie Larson plays that character so well, and again, we haven't even scratched the surface of this character and what she can do. And she has a whole history, a whole story arc that revolves around her losing her powers and then getting them back and becoming a new character called Binary. So she's got some growing to do, and I think that she's gonna be just fine. I did hear a little while ago, I saw a video talking about how Captain Marvel could actually beat Thor. So having said that, I think Thor's out. I think with his speech in Infinity War when he talked with Rocket about all these bad guys who wanted to kill him and all the ones that didn't get the chance, it kind of seemed like that was his I'm ready to die speech. So I think that's definitely a possibility, is that he is not going to make it out of Endgame, and I'm okay with that. I think I like Chris Hemsworth a lot as Thor. I think he played the perfect Thor, and I think that he's done it. I wouldn't say enough, but I think he's there's not much else that you could explore with the Thor character that I know of, aside from having him die and having someone else be Thor. I know there was a time where Jane Foster picked up Thor's hammer and became Thor, and I think that would be a wonderful way to bring in this strong female character. Natalie Portman's one of my favorite actresses ever. I love that girl, so I really want her to return to the Marvel Universe as Thor, as a superhero. That'd be super awesome. So I'm gonna say Thor's out. I've said Black Widow's out, Iron Man's out, Captain America's out. Moving on, Scarlet Witch, I think that she's in. She's not going to go anywhere. I think that she's a really cool character. I think with the next chapter of Marvel happening, I don't think it's going to happen soon, but I think that the X-Men will eventually be introduced, and I think they'll probably retcon Scarlet Witch's character to be a mutant rather than an experiment. I think whatever experiment they did on her was only to draw out her latent mutant abilities, much like Deadpool. And that they'll probably retcon that later on when the X-Men start to trickle into the cinematic universe. And of course, Rogue and Captain Marvel have this fight that I think is going to be is going to be incorporated into Marvel at some point. So, I think it's very important that any and all X-Men who are currently in the movies stay in the movies, even though she's not technically an X-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I get that, but I don't think she's out. She still has a story to tell. Vision, I think, is probably going to... that's a tough one. I'm going to come back to that. Let's skip that for now. War Machine. War Machine's going to stick around. I think he's not really done anything on a huge grand scale just yet, and I think that he's definitely going to prove himself in this movie, and he's probably going to be a supporting character for time to come. I don't like the idea of him dying if Tony Stark doesn't. I don't like the idea of Tony Stark being alive and War Machine dying, especially because I feel like Tony Stark got James Rhodes into the War Machine suit. So I feel like for that, it'd be like almost like I brought you into this just so you could die. My bad. But I think that he's going to stick around for a little while more. Falcon, I think if anybody's going to take up the Captain America mantle, it's going to be Falcon, and I think that he's definitely got a story to tell as well. It's probably going to be more of a supporting character story and not much to the character. He won't get his own movie, I don't think, but he might fit in pretty well with Black Panther or maybe Black Widow or something like that. I think that wouldn't be bad for him. And I'm not saying that because he's black. I'm saying that because I think that as a supporting character, it would be cool for him to support a few other superheroes other than just Captain America and Iron Man. Aside from that, moving on, Black Panther is getting another movie, a sequel to Black Panther, coming out I guess at some point, and the first one was amazing, so it'd be really silly not to keep Black Panther alive. I think he's definitely going to stay alive. There's no reason for him to go anywhere, and I think he's going to be fine. Plus, I want to see more of Wakanda. I want to see more of Shuri, one of my favorite characters in all of the Marvel MCU, so that'll be cool. Winter Soldier, I think he survives. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he survives. I don't think there's anything to worry about with Winter Soldier. He's had a story, but I think it's one or the other. I think if Captain America survives, Winter Soldier dies, or vice versa. I think that one of the two is going to bite the big one, and I don't know which one, but I guess we'll see on tomorrow on the 26th. So going back to Vision, I think it's very possible that they get the Infinity Stones back from Thanos, and I think it's very possible that they put the Infinity Stones back into Vision, but I think a more likely scenario is that they don't, and that they somehow figure out how to make Vision functional as an AI, not a human, but as a sentient AI, in a sense that he doesn't have any powers, he won't have a stone anymore. So I think that's where we're headed with Vision, is that there will be a version of Vision that stays alive, as a love interest for Scarlet Witch probably, but I don't think he's going to be the same as he was before. Now maybe they put a different stone in him. Maybe he can actually use any of the stones. Maybe he gets all the stones. That'd be crazy, right? And maybe that's a possibility of as far as like who could actually wield the Infinity Gauntlet. So maybe it's him. So we'll see. But I think Vision is probably it's a little of both. I think he's going to stay alive, but he's going to be different. The last one I want to talk about, and I probably left some out, and that's okay. Let me know in the comments if I did leave somebody out. But the last one I want to talk about is extremely important that we mention him. Thanos, his own self. Does Thanos die in Infinity War? Well, I don't know. I'm sorry, Endgame. Does Thanos die in Endgame? I don't know. So I'm going to make my best guess and say that no, he does not. I think that Hela comes back, and I think that him and Hela find some kind of a relationship after this whole mess is done. And I think that Thanos will probably linger long after Infinity War is over. I think he's going to be a formidable foe that he doesn't come back on multiple occasions, but I think that we'll see him again, and he might threaten the Earth in a different way in the future. I don't think he dies in Infinity War. So and you know what? I think like watching him sit down at the end of Infinity War, I kind of got the feeling that he regrets some of his decisions. That he was kind of sitting there watching the sun go down, and he was like, you know what? I'm not sure if all this was worth it. I did what I wanted to do. I accomplished my goal. Now what? So I think that's kind of what he was feeling when he sat down. And that might mean that he is maybe not going to fight as hard to make it happen, or to keep it the way that it is, especially seeing as how he lost Gamora, and you know, half the population is gone now. So, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens, but we'll see. Thanos, I think he's around. I think Hela comes back, and I think that is finally going to take effect, because that was a big thing in the comics where he was in love with her, and that's the only reason he went after the Infinity Gauntlet in the first place. But now I think it's going to be the aftermath of Endgame, is he's gonna find her and be like, oh, what up? Forgot about Ant-Man. Bonus character, Ant-Man. I think Ant-Man survives. I think Paul Rudd's amazing. He's so much fun. He's hilarious, and he's great in the movies. I didn't like his standalone movies because the comedy was funny, but the other characters were so dry about it that it kind of ruined it for me. But I think Ant-Man survives, and I think that he's probably going to have his own movies again, but he will probably play more of a supporting role in the future, in future Marvel movies. I don't see him having another standalone movie, but maybe he will. Who knows? Also, Ghost I think should come back because I think she was a cool character too. And of course we've got the Valkyrie and Lady Sif. I think they're gonna come back too. So I'm really excited to see them again because Valkyrie was an amazing character. She was so awesome, and I really want to see her again. Anyway, that's my predictions for Infinity War. If you like this video, hit like, hit subscribe. I'm going to be back on Sunday afternoon with a live stream on my Twitch channel. The link is in the description. Live stream with Infinity War spoilers. So if you've seen the movie and you want to talk about it, don't do it in the comments. Do it on Sunday live with me on stream. I'll just be playing Marvel Ultimate Alliance or something like that, or Marvel versus Capcom. Maybe Lego Marvel. I don't know. I'm crazy. I might just play whatever I want. But I want you there, so definitely check out that channel if you're a Marvel Cinematic Universe fan. I would love to see you there. I'm also going to be online this Thursday or this Friday with Fortnite, and I think I'm very, very confident they're going to put some Marvel content into Fortnite, and if they do, I'm going to spend a lot of money. So I don't know what to say about that, but there is a bunch of tweets going around about some of the Fortnite characters getting like things like Captain America's shield, Thor's hammer, Iron Man's like gauntlets that he can like manipulate energy with. The Infinity Gauntlet is one of them too. So I really think that Marvel content is coming to Fortnite. The Infinity Gauntlet might come back, which would be really fun to play again because I didn't get a chance to play it last time. And I'm going to be playing that on Friday night live on Twitch with you. No spoilers for in-game that night, but Sunday is the day if you want to talk about in-game spoilers. Today, just speculation. If you know what happens in in-game, don't say it in the comments. Please do not. But if you don't know and you want to speculate with me, by all means. I'm gonna sign off for now. But guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate it. I we'll be back soon with more of these types of videos. So they're really fun to film, and I hope to see you there. But until next time, guys, my name is Blaze, and I'll catch you on the flippity flip.